Hey, this is Lou Mangello from WDW Radio, and you're listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Let's do this.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode 65 of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. It's far easier to hate a dark one than it is to love one. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like we do every week by going around the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany in Belvedere.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
This is Mitch in Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. Hello everyone.
Hello.
We're all here. We're all alive.
Yes.
It was questionable
Yes.
there for a second.
Which is why we are delayed a bit. Sorry,
Yeah.
fair listeners.
Yes.
But life has happened to us
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. We're getting
It's okay, as far as I can tell, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On the mend.
Yeah. No worse for the wear. A little rough around the edges, but we're good.
Yep.
So we've got a lot to talk about. So we are going to jump straight into news.
Alrighty. There are, count 5 trailers that got released to be watched for your enjoyment. The first one is the Librarian Season 2 trailer for Stranger Than Fiction, which will be premiering November 1st.
And I'm caught up on the librarians now, so I'm good. Yay!
Yay!
Then we have Jessica Jones on A Day's Work.
With David Tennant's voice.
The Shiver.
Remember when I said fangirls will be like, oh my gosh, it's David Tennant. Then they watch it, they're like, oh my gosh, it's David Tennant.
Yes.
That's how this is going to be.
Yep. Yeah.
Then we also have a trailer and teaser for Daredevil Season 2.
With our first glimpses of Elektra
Yep.
and Punisher
And then we have a trailer for Sherlock.
for the Christmas special. Again, Christmas in quotation marks. Christmas special.
End of year winter
Yeah,
special.
the Sherlock winter special.
Yeah, date field to be determined.
Yeah, they keep saying soon. The BBC, they keep saying soon. I'm like, it's
Yeah,
October.
you know what? That's the BBC's motto when it comes to Sherlock. When they say, "When are we getting season 4?" Soon.
Soon,
And that's it.
yeah.
Their definition of soon and our definition of soon, two companies.
Are we gonna get Sherlock before America gets a new president?
Good one.
I guess.
I know that's
You know
that's
what?
still
We
a big window, but
legitimately placed bets on that. We
Yeah.
legitimately placed bets on that. There's probably a spread in Vegas talking about that.
will
Like,
Star Wars Land at Disney open before we get Sherlock season 4?
Yes, there's like all these things that could happen before Sherlock season 4.
Probably.
And then our last trailer is for Mockingjay Part 2, Welcome to the 76th Hunger Games. And those links will be in the show notes.
Which supposedly that's going to be the last Hunger Games Mockingjay trailer before the
It
movie
said-
comes out in a
but
month.
Yeah, it comes out in November, so that definitely seems like it'll be the last trailer for that. And so yeah, end of an era that
Mm-hmm.
seems like. Of course, then they just released a surprise brand new Twilight book, so it's like, okay.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Although I read what the ending is of this new reimagined thing, and I'm like, you know what? That's how she should have ended it in the first place.
I think that's
Anyway,
what she's
we're
trying
not
to
gonna
do. I think she realized how much she screwed it up, and she's like, okay, I'm going to fix it.
Yep, I think that's true.
Alternate
I have
universe.
Yet to read it. I have yet to read it.
I never will.
I'm really debating, but
I saw your
now
tweets
that I know
about
the
that.
ending's different. Yeah, now that I know the ending's different, I'm like, I might give it a shot just to see. Anyway, we're not talking Twilight here.
No,
We're talking
please not.
release dates. We're not. Yeah, we're talking release dates and Disney, Pixar, Marvel, oh my gosh, there's so much going on.
My calendar is so full.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking. Well, let's see. Well, we'll just go in order here that it's listed. Pixar.
Incredibles 2 is set, and I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
far away.
That's gonna be. Yeah, it is. Although, if you think about it,
and then they're announcing it's not going to be out till 2019. I mean, 2099.
Oh, bite me.
Just shush you two. So anyway, the release dates are as follows.
But I think that was when I was a teenager.
Yeah, whatever. Hush. Anyway.
Anyway, well, the first Pixar movie was Toy Story. That came when I was 14.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, The Good Dinosaur is coming out soon, November 25th of this year. Then there's Finding Dory, will be June 17th of 2016. Cars 3, June 16th, 2017. They just swapped the numbers there. That kind of weirded me out. So I was like, wait a minute, that's like, oh, okay, I get it.
One's a Friday, then a Friday the following year.
Exactly. Okay, that's just, never mind. Then the next one is something called Coco, which is November 22nd, 2017. Toy Story 4, which I'm still like, 4? Okay, whatever. June 15th, 2018. And then The Incredibles 2, as alluded to, June 21st, 2019. So Pixar's going to keep us loaded up, as will Marvel, because apparently now they've added some stuff to the Marvel lineup. And which is funny because I found an infographic that listed all these with this new information. And there are now 2 movies in between Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. So the way it's going to go, well, let's see, the new
Still down for my 29th birthday, so I know what my plans are that year.
Well, there you go. So let's see. They've got Black Panther is moved to February 16th of 2018, which originally was in July. Then one of the new ones is Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is July 6th, 2018. Which I'm like, oh yay, because I liked Ant-Man and this should be good. And then Captain Marvel has been moved up to March 8th, or no, well, it's been moved to March 8th, 2019. Originally it was in November of 2018. And then they have 3 unnamed movies that will be released in 2020, which I thought, wow, that seems so far away. No, it's 5 years away. And
not even that.
I started watching Doctor Who 5 years ago, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
I know.
So 2020, I don't want to think about how old I'm going to be. And then,
yeah.
But anyway, this is exciting. Marvel is showing no signs of slowing down. I kind of thought, I did have a thought at one point that they would be like, well, after Phase 3, we've built up, Infinity War, and then maybe they'll like kind of taper off and be done. Nope, they're still going. So they've actually amped it up to 3 movies a year. So starting in 2017, I believe. I have it right here on my Facebook page.
Yeah, because we're only getting 2 next year.
Yeah, we're getting 2 next year. We got 2 this year, 2 next year. Come on, Facebook, scroll down. There it is. There it is. Yeah, starting in 2017, there will be. And the Spider-Man film will be July 28th, 2017. So there will be at least 3 Marvel movies starting in 2017 every year. So they'll have one like in February, March, then one in the summer, then one in the fall. Is kind of what. Oh wait, no, maybe not, because in 2018 there's Avengers, there's Infinity War Part 1 in May, and Ant-Man and the Wasp in July. So I don't know.
I'm sure that the schedule is still subject to change.
That is true. That is true.
A lot of it is just, some of it probably depends on, what people's contracts, if they need certain people, where some people are going to stop being certain characters and they've got to figure out storylines and that sort of thing. So
I figure after Civil War, we'll have a lot more of this will be kind of figured out, because Civil War, I feel like, is going to be a big turning point for all of this.
It's gonna be a
Yeah.
I love
pivot
how we
point.
just call it Civil War, where it's not even Captain America
Nope,
Civil
it's just
War.
Civil War.
It should. Well,
I don't know why. I know it's supposed to be Captain America Civil War, but pretty much everybody's in it, so it really just needs to be Civil War. It's like the Avengers Civil War, more appropriate than.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Cap is the major player in the Civil War, so.
That is true. So
I just can't.
well, no, I don't want to spoil it, because I have read the Civil War comic and I know what happened, so I will. But
It depends on how close they keep it to the comics, so.
Well, yes. But anyway, yay Marvel, yay Pixar, yay movies, yay a lot of craziness going on.
And there's a lot of
It's all good
popcorn in my
craziness.
future. A lot of overpriced popcorn.
Oh yes. Oh, by the way, speaking of, has anyone seen The Martian yet?
Nope.
Not yet. I want to.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
It is?
I won't say anything, but it's very good. Yes, it is easily the best movie of the year. And the Academy will totally ignore it because they hate sci-fi and they suck like that.
I saw you
So-
talking about that on the in your Goodreads review.
Mhm. Yeah, I had it because I bought the ebook. It was like for $2 a while ago, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see that movie. I'll buy this. And I saw the movie. I'm like, I need to read this.
That's one of the ads that was playing in the main panel room at Fan Expo, so I saw the ad for the
Okay.
Martian like probably a dozen times.
Okay, well, I will wait. I will wait to squee with you guys about it after you've all seen it. But you all need to see it because it's so cool.
I know. It's one of the ones from that reel that I'm like, oh, I gotta see that. The other one was The Fifth Wave. That was a good one. Like that, it's not out yet. It's coming out next year, I think.
I know it's a book.
It's about like this alien invasion, and they do like waves where the first wave was cutting the power, and then natural disasters, and then there was a virus, and then they started like taking over people's bodies, and the whole movie is them preparing for like the fifth wave of the invasion.
Nice.
So, and because the trailer just like shows all these waves in sequence. So that one was another one that looks interesting.
Quit adding stuff to my list of things I need to watch, read, look up.
No, there's no.
The Martian was a really fast read. I was surprised at how quick it went, and I like have zero time to read anymore. And I whipped through that puppy like nobody's business. It was that good. So anyway, sorry for the side tangent. I just said popcorn and movie, and I was like, I saw a movie this week. Oh yeah, The Martian.
I remember reading on Facebook, a lot of people apparently thought it was based on a true story. Like, considering there's no human that's been.
You know,
Been to Mars?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like Apollo 13 a lot. But it's like it's realistic science fiction. It's TV tropes would call it 20 minutes into the future science fiction, but it is. And I know some people have been saying like, well, the science doesn't work that way, blah blah blah, and I'm just kind of like, I'm one of those people that just says, just tell me you did science and it worked, and I'll buy it. So I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, probably ought to proceed.
Yes.
Yeah, we have much to get through. I just random squirrel there for me.
Okay, well, so we don't get another tangent.
We might.
Yeah, keep me off of this.
Next on our list is the Doctor Who Lego set is officially coming. Construct a stunningly detailed Lego version of the iconic TARDIS. In roleplay, The Doctor's Time Travel Adventures, created by fan designer Andrew Clark and selected by LEGO Ideas members, this set is based on the BBC's popular and long-running television show about a Time Lord, the Doctor, exploring the universe in a blue police box. Due to trans-dimensional engineering, the TARDIS is bigger on the inside than the outside. And I can't read now. And this cool multifunctional set includes the console room that houses all the flight controls, regenerate the Doctor and defeat the evil Daleks and the Weeping Angel with the help of his extraordinary companion Clara. Then close the doors of the TARDIS and launch into another dimension. It includes 4 minifigures with assorted accessory elements: the 11th Doctor, 12th Doctor, Clara Oswald, and a Weeping Angel, plus 2 Daleks.
All yours for the low price of $59.99.
Yep. Doctor, because his clothes look more like the 11th purple costume.
It's 12 right after he's regenerated.
I guess.
Is the explanation that I've seen. So it's.
I guess. But
I'll buy it.
It just seems odd.
Because Clara's dressed in her Time of the Doctor outfit, isn't she?
11.
Yeah. Because that's the outfit Clara's wearing as her Time of the Doctor outfit, isn't it?
Yes, she is, but still.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying.
And it's funny, on the box it has the 11th Doctor on the box.
Yeah, the 11th Doctor in the tweed. Yeah, I see. I know, but
Lego
just to put
play out.
in his normal.
I'm sure it will be coming as additional things you can buy.
Yeah, there will be more. I mean, if anything, Doctor Who is a gold mine for Lego to come up with all kinds of different sets and characters and costumes. I mean, look at Doctor Who Legacy. Like, how many costumes are we still getting with? Oh, everything. All the others that we have.
With the guitar.
Yep.
Just got a Nick 12th Doctor costume with the guitar.
Yeah. Accessories make the outfit.
True.
Again, all yours for the low price of $59.99.
It's also that in pounds, which I don't know.
Well, no, that's euros.
Euros, that's what I mean. I was on something else. Sorry.
And it'll be available December 1st. So stock your local Toys R Us, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just looking like, we're getting Doctor Who late. I'm like looking at those. I forgot what they're called, but the not exactly Legos, but they fit the same thing that I have. I was like, oh, they can.
I haven't played with Legos in years, but I need this. I don't need it, but I want it.
They got the TARDIS properly, and then you can have the front part of that attached to the console set.
It's Doctor Who Lego.
That's all I need.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we were doing the voting for the set, we're like, you need to vote for this so that Lego will actually make it. They're like, here it is. It's actually going to be available.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like I can spend my money on these things.
Yay!
Well,
and now,
theoretical money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I want the Lego Doctor Who video game.
Yeah, the Dimensions.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. Yes, I need that too. I need all of it, including the next piece of news.
Oh yes.
Speaking of stuff you can spend your money on.
Yes. Hang on. I'm trying to get back to the dock, but my iPad's not cooperating.
No.
Where is it? There it is. There's more. BBC's released more, or whoever it is, has released more details for the Underwater Menace DVD. Which is what's on my notes here is special features. So,
Mm-hmm.
do you want me to read that, or can we just put it in the...
Yeah, we can put it in the notes.
We can just stick it in the show notes,
Yeah.
and listeners can read it for themselves.
Yep. I mean, there's obvious stuff. There's going to be...
I'm not reading all of that.
Yeah. it's a lot. The descriptions are lengthy, which is good. So you know what you're getting when you buy the DVD. So, I mean, they're from actors and other people. Other
2 of a tour of BBC Television Centre.
Hmm.
That's what it says here.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Do the Google.
Yeah. The Television Centre of the Universe, Part 2, or the BBC Television Centre, led by Yvette Fielding. No idea. Good question. Well, what else has been released on DVD? Probably Web of Fear or...
Yeah, but that was a vanilla release.
Well, that's true. What else has been released recently? I don't know. You think they would put that on there, that it's like Part 2, Part 1 can be found on. Well, somebody failed there in their description writing.
I think it's on the if I'm reading this blog post correctly, it's on the Visitation Special Edition.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'll put the
link.
Yeah.
Put the link in the notes.
Means I need to get to this blog on my iPad because it's... Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what was it? The I don't know if we shared it on our Facebook. I think where did I see it? Somebody on something shared it, that somebody from the BBC or something. Somebody shared a picture of the canisters from the Web of Fear that they'd found. Like, here's the canisters. I thought that was kind of cool. Like we know you saw the releases, but here, have a look at the cans that were found in a hole somewhere. Anyway, moving on to even more stuff to spend your money on. Good Lord. Big Finish, you're going to be the death of me. Although this is very exciting.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's say this is very, very exciting though. So we're getting a 4-box set from Big Finish with John Hurt as the War Doctor. Really, that's all you need to know. We are getting an...
I put the link to the...
oh yes, I see it.
blog post I found at the end of the list of special features.
I see it. Noted.
Why
Will
do
add it.
I have a good business? I know I have.
But it's going to be back to Big Finish, so it's going to be 12 full cast Doctor Who audio plays. It'll be 4 box sets, each containing 3 hour-long episodes.
Wow.
I know! So the first box set is going to be called Only the Monstrous, and it's written and directed by Nicholas Briggs. And that's going to be released December of this year. And then in February, we will get the second volume, Infernal Devices. Volumes 3 and 4 are in pre-production. And then along with those, November of 2017, we're going to get a prequel box set with the 8th Doctor, with Paul McGann's Doctor. Well, so we'll get the early parts of the Time War as well.
Oh my, more 8th Doctor, whatever shall I do?
I know. It's awful. It's just, oh, it's just, yeah, Big Finish, just take my money.
Apparently, the newest 8th Doctor box set came out either yesterday or today, because I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter going, "Oh my gosh, Doom Coalition is so awesome!" Of course, that's mostly Big Finish retweeting people's reactions to it. But even still, I'm just like, I still haven't finished Dark Eyes 2.
Yeah.
I haven't.
I finished Dark Eyes 3. I just haven't gotten around to 4 yet.
Yeah, Big Finish keeps making these announcements, and I said something the other day, and Chauncey's like, put it on a list. Christmas and your birthday. I'm like, okay. Yes, please. Oh. I do love me some Big Finish.
Oh, yes, indeed.
We all love us some Big Finish.
Yeah. Well, I got the, that Davros bundle they were offering after, what was it? Which is
familiar? Yeah.
I got that, so I got a few more.
Even more to listen to.
It's a lot for $35, so I mean.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll have to do a Big Finish specific. Random stuff.
Sorry.
Random stuff.
It was for a credit card.
No, well, we've had a Tylenol ad, so why not?
Well,
send the check too.
Yeah, really.
You know that?
No, they need to send a check to us.
Apparently, if you keep that open, even when they're not offline, you can earn Addy Gold. So I've been keeping it open in a tab, and he's just about to start playing.
Twitch.
He's role-playing Skyrim.
And
he's just about to start a session, and before he starts, there's always, like, an ad.
Of course.
So the ads,
yes.
like, oh no!
Not the ads!
That's I'm trying to earn Addy Gold. The channel open in a tab and not anticipating it actually starting to make noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Or at least not the noise you want.
No. It could have been worse.
Muted now, so we won't get any more interruptions from that corner.
It's all good.
Good idea. We've had Stranger.
Yep.
Oh, alrighty then. Now, moving on to what's more than likely going to be one of our last Dubsmash War updates here. Round 3 has kicked off. So the last 2 entries are out there. They dropped at the same time. So there was no waiting to see who would drop first. And as of we're recording, Team Shield is ahead. But the totals for the 2 teams combined, we have broke the $100,000 mark. So yay!
Yay!
So the final entries are out there, and once again, Team Shield is, or in this case, yeah, both teams are upping the ante with a $25 donation to either team. Whichever team you donate to, you can win the opportunity to have a video chat with either Haley and James or Clark and Chloe. And supposedly the winner for Dubsmash Wars is going to be picked on the 16th. So later this week, actually, according to Entertainment Weekly. And as sad as we are that Dubsmash Wars for Charity is almost over, the lip syncing shall continue, because Haley, at the very least, is still posting on her Instagram. She's cracking me up. She's been doing Clue and Rocky Horror last week, and I was like, oh my god, I love you.
I think as long as this Dubsmash app stays a thing, Haley Atwell will be entertaining us with her.
Oh yes.
With her lip dub.
Oh
stuff.
yes, very much so. But if you want to if you want to enjoy the lip syncing capabilities of Haley Atwell and Clark Gregg beyond your Instagram account, sometime next year on Spike, which hosts or shows Lip Sync Battle, which is hosted by LL Cool J. Clark and Haley will be appearing on an episode.
Interesting.
That will air sometime early next year when the next season of Lip Sync Battle comes on, I guess.
or it'll be posted on YouTube somewhere.
Well, it usually ends up on YouTube anyway, so the lip syncs. So it's I love the show. I think it's hilarious what some of the contestants come up with and decide to lip sync. So go on YouTube, and if you haven't seen any of the show, go and watch it, and you'll see what potentially we have in store for when their episode airs. But
and especially if somebody decides to do an LL Cool J song.
Yeah. Crazy costume, surprise appearances, it's all good.
Definitely a lot better than when my school used to do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Some things get better with time.
Yes.
Yep. So, that is it for the news. So, I guess we will move on to the feels. The feels.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, really. No kidding. So, Once Upon a Time is back, and we actually we're going to go ahead and discuss the first 3 episodes, because we're actually 3 episodes into the season. That's just the way the cookie crumbled this time. Just like we went so long with nothing, and then everything came back at once. I'm like, well, we can't talk about everything all at once. So
yeah, it was like an avalanche. So it's not just going to be the premiere, because we've seen 3 episodes now, and we're just like, blah!
Yep.
Pretty much. The things and the people and the places and the...
what are you doing? Yeah, all of that.
Biggest thing... Okay, we'll get into details here, but I was thinking about it on the drive home, because I knew this was what we were talking about. I was like, okay, major things that need to be discussed. One, Gold's been in a coma up until like the last 5 minutes of the episode last night.
Yes.
Emma, when she first gets to camp, spoiler warning. Yeah. And Gold's been in a coma, and Emma looks like an extra from Les Miserables, at least in Camelot. Until she gets her fancy dress on, but when she first appears as the Dark One in Camelot, and she's got on like that long dress and the raggedy thing, so she looks like she just walked off a production of Les Miserables.
You're probably right. I know Nixon. Well, yeah. I'm not up on my Les Mis anything, but yeah, you're probably right. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 things that stood out to me.
But you know what I love about Camelot so far, and we'll get into the things that were like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing, Camelot? Come on. Is I love that Emma has finally gotten to go to a ball with her parents, and her parents, have gotten to send her off, and it's a ball in Camelot. It's not at their palace, but still, it's like, oh, that moment was like really sweet, and everybody's dancing, and I'm just like, oh, the happiness, and it's not going to last, but let me enjoy this because it's so cute.
Oops.
And when Hook and David are waiting for for Emma and Mary Margaret to come down the stairs, and I'm just like, oh, this is what she should have had, like, all growing up. Oh. Anyway.
Rather interesting backstory too.
Yes, which I was happy because that easily could have been like a whole flashback episode of the evil queen sneering and snarling, and I'm just like, I'm glad they didn't do that. And they just had the guy say, "You were the evil queen and you killed my family, prepared to die," sort of a thing. And I was like, oh yes, this is much
pretty
better.
much.
Oh, and then the charming Regina scene. Charming Regina. Oh, God, I can see it. Nice.
There's something I was never would expect to see in the show.
What, Regina and David
Yep.
dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although props to the promo department, because when I saw the promo for that episode, and I thought, oh, are we doing more Evil Queen flashback? But no, it was just they were doing like she couldn't figure out how to dress and not look evil in fairy tale land. Yeah.
She, not looking like she just raided Elvira, mistress of the
Yeah.
Dark's wardrobe. Yeah, Regina. I don't hold back on my love for Lana and her portrayal of Regina, and so far it is not disappointing. You know, we knew going into this pretty much that somebody was going to have to take Emma's spot. And Regina seemed the most obvious, because, I mean, that's who Emma was saving to begin with when she became the Dark One.
Yeah.
And to Regina
and Regina's...
is, you know, she's trying to be the savior and the best she can, and God love her.
Yeah.
She's trying.
And it's like, I mean, that's kind of been the whole through storyline, and I think that's what annoys me the most is when they do the flashbacks to the evil queen just being evil. It's like, no, she's come beyond that. Let's see her, you know, in her new status as a hero, as, you know, she's actually trying, and that's what I've been wanting to see since the end of season 3, and she got some of that in season 4, but then she had to go back and act evil. But yeah, so far, and season or episode 2 was kind of tough to watch, because it was like, especially in the Storybrooke parts where, you know, Emma, you know, Dark Emma is yelling at her, you know, be the savior, do what needs to be done, slam the door in her face, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, so are you only upset that she acted like the savior in Camelot, or... And I have my own theories on some of this, and we'll get into that at some point, I'm sure. But it's like, you know, Regina is finally getting her opportunity to be a hero, and not just, oh, you're the poor. I mean, I have an analogy for this, but it could sound very bad when I describe it. So, you know, I preface my explanation with this. It's sort of like, I want to use the analogy of an addict coming back from, you know, whatever they were addicted to, whether it's drugs, alcohol, whatever, and people are still kind of wary about them when they're starting to be rehabilitated, and they want to support them for, you know, turning their life around, but then at the same time they're kind of like, ooh, you know, you could relapse at any time. I kind of feel like up until now that's how everyone's treated Regina, but now with Emma gone, Regina stepped up and said, no, I have changed. I have, you know, I have worked hard to become where I am now. I have, you know, pushed back the darkness and the evil and all that stuff, and I want to be good and help people. And you know, and she's still got that sharp, spiky, I don't want to say spiky, but that sharpness of the evil queen that made the evil queen interesting, but it's toned down and it's blended in with, more of the, hero Regina sort of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that's what I'm enjoying about this go around.
time jump. From even that thing too with
which
the way she treats Regina back in Storybook. It's
one
like,
thing
okay, what else happened that we haven't seen yet? That's caused that kind of.
one thing I've noticed about Once Upon a Time is that the time spent in one realm exactly corresponds to time spent in any other realm.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't usually happen with this sort of story.
That is true.
So, like, but how? So they say so it's in 6 weeks in Storybook, but how do they know that that's how long?
They don't. That's the thing. Is it?
Wait. How? No. Wait. What were you saying? Like, how do they know how long it's been there?
Well, they know. When they got back, they were told that they'd been away for 6 weeks. So how do they? And then
because
they were talking about that they were in Camelot for 6 weeks. I'm like,
well, okay, because they remember walking into Camelot.
Time spent in any other realm. That's not usual for this type of story, right?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just my brain just went down for a second.
Like Narnia. Like Narnia.
Oh, that was how long it's been for them, because it's always been that time. Anytime that's
well, when they came back into Storybrooke, they were like, we were just walking into Camelot. So for them, it felt like no time had passed, but they were all in different clothes, and the dwarves had come in, and
because the time they had lost had corresponded exactly to the time that had passed in our world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Okay. So for them, because they lost their memories, they thought it was like an instant. But they know that they've been gone from Storybrooke, so they're not saying exactly that. I don't know. Maybe it's just part of the script thing to make it sound more, or so it's not so confusing.
But it was 6 weeks. Because I think every other instance of time passage the time passage from one realm to another has corresponded exactly. So
I think
out of their experience that was the case this time.
That's probably true because when in season 3 when they had the missing year, it had been a year in the Enchanted Forest, and then they got brought back to Storybrooke.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
okay, got it.
Probably was 6 weeks in Camelot, but it seemed odd for me that they had at first that they had assumed that, but then I remembered the things like the year between seasons and stuff, or the year in season 3 that passed, and was like, okay, I guess time in one room exactly corresponds to time in another. I guess that's just the rules of this story.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, that we haven't been told otherwise that it's been that way. So
yeah.
I mean, if 6 weeks passed in Storybrooke, 6 weeks passed in Camelot, 28 years passed in Storybrooke, 28 years passed, in the Enchanted Forest, even though Storybrooke didn't realize that time was passing because they were all frozen in time.
Well, I think
which probably explains
Forest as well.
Yeah, which probably explains why Baby Charming is still Baby Charming.
Yeah, that was one of my comments. I'm like, why is Baby Charming still so little?
Yeah, because I mean, even a 6-week-old is very different than a. Well, let's see, more than 6 weeks. Let's see, I'm trying to think because he was born at the end of season 3, then season 4, then Frozen happened, and that was like a week maybe of time. Then they had a 6-week jump to Queens of Darkness. So he is like maybe 4 months old.
Well, and he's about the right size then.
Okay, maybe. I don't know, because the way they play around with how much time has passed kind of is funny in this show.
Yeah, and that's one. I think that's one of the things I'm having. As much as I'm enjoying the whole Camelot thing, like when we had the season opener. And
Yeah.
you've got Emma disappears into the vortex thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ends up in the realm that Camelot is in. I'm just calling the whole thing Camelot, whether it's actually Camelot or not.
Yeah, it's called Camelot.
The same land as Camelot, I guess. And
although that's interesting because it's like
it gets to the end. Yeah, it gets to the end of the episode. It's like 6 weeks later. It's like you've been gone for 6 weeks. I'm like, really, we're doing time travel again? But it's
time jumps, but
time jumps again.
The other thing is, and maybe this is a mistake in the production. Zelina's baby, because they had the sonogram, they're showing it, and I'm like, that baby looks a lot older than for her just having been pregnant.
Yeah, that's that form. That's like a 20-week sonogram. So she should be halfway through her pregnancy, and she's barely showing. Not that they're really showing a whole lot of Zelina from the waist down anyway. But
yeah. Well, the timeline doesn't quite match up because there was a 6-week jump somewhere in there. She got pregnant, so we'll say 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks later. So she should only be 9 weeks along, give or take. So,
yeah,
math.
You start. I mean, as much as we love time travel, it can mess with your head.
Yeah, it's when you get all into the little nitpicky details of, wait a minute, that baby, that unborn baby is too big for how long she's actually been pregnant.
Just a smidge.
But maybe wicked witches have a shorter gestational period than normal humans. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either.
Although I love Hook's reaction to when Robin said, "Oh, it's a picture of the baby up inside Zelina." He's like, "Whoa!" Like, no. It's just like, yay, another Hook versus the modern world moment. Oh, bless you.
Yet apparently Robin Hood has no problems using a phone.
That was.
It's like, I know how to use a phone.
Well, yeah.
Meanwhile, Hook is like, I just pushed the Emma button.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
But anyway, back to Dark Emma.
Yeah. She's kind of the
star
point.
Of this show. She is. When they've teased the whole Emma is the Dark One, and we all thinking, okay, Dark One, we think of Rumple and how, crazy, evil, especially last season, just how manipulative and terrible he was, and we're thinking, oh wow, Emma's going to be that way. She is not. She is very much, the darkness has molded her into something completely different than Rumpelstiltskin, which is kind of an interesting addition to the mythology of Once Upon a Time. And, just talking about how, okay, so the darkness reacts to different people in different ways. And I kind of think, this is kind of my theory on what she's up to, because she doesn't seem like she really has the most evil of darkness plots, whatever's going on, up her sleeve. She kind of seems like she's having to lead everybody around to say, okay, here are the clues, figure it out. And like telling Regina, oh, you have to be the savior, you've got to figure this out. And with Hook, she still wants to be with him, but he, has this expectation of what the Dark One is, and all that kind of thing. And it has changed her. It has changed Emma quite a bit. But I kind of think, and so far, what we're finding out about Arthur and Camelot, that it really wasn't this nice, lovely, pristine, utopian society, or at least that Arthur is not the most benevolent king that he is supposed to be from legend.
Which I called that.
Is that, oh yeah, I mean, there's just, even from the beginning, Arthur is just, there's something shady going on with that guy.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, something happened in Camelot, Emma had to succumb to the darkness because they keep saying, "Oh, Emma, don't use your powers because it's darkness and it's going to make things worse," and blah blah blah. So she had to use her powers and send them all back to Storybrooke somehow. But now it's the darkness is taken over. But I don't think it's taken over fully because she still has Ghost Rumple sitting on her shoulder saying, "Succumb to the darkness, succumb to the darkness," kind of a thing. And so I think she's still fighting it, but she's pretending like she's not because of reasons that I haven't figured out yet. But there's more to this than her just being the dark one, straight up, because she's got the darkness and the light savior magic, which is like the lightest and the brightest of everything. And when you try to combine those two, some very interesting things must be happening because it's like the darkest of the dark and the lightest of the light, and just how do those two things fight inside of one person? One person who has been fighting against the darkness and the light all this time, which is why I never for 1 second bought that stupidity last season about how Snow and Charming supposedly took the darkness out of their baby when Emma was not born yet. Because I thought that was so dumb, because she had grown up being a thief and a liar and dishonest just to survive, obviously, but still she'd made some very poor choices. And, thinking your child is going to be Princess Rainbow Sparkle Poo just because you take out the goo, the dark, shadowy stuff. No. We're not going there. Anyway. That's my thought on it. On that part of it, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, with this whole time jump thing, it's how they got to 6 weeks later is something that's we're slowly discovering with each and every episode what happened in that 6 week time frame. So, we're all like, we're trying to figure out the motivation and everything. It's like, what happened? It's like, they're going to show us eventually, but we're impatient.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, we saw with, when Emma used her dark magic to save Robin, and she used it's dark magic, but she used it for a good reason. The intentions behind it were good, but we still saw that had an effect, because all magic comes with a price, dearie.
Yeah, and he's sitting there going, you have to enact the price from them. You can't just do it out of the goodness of your heart.
Right.
And so that's a good distinction. I like that they're making that distinction, because with her light magic, she could just use it and that was it. But with dark magic, that's an important rule to make clear, is like every time you use it, there's somebody has to pay the price for it. So and we've had that, we've had that since the beginning with Rumple making deals and everything.
She's pretending to be darker than she is that there's something, and the price is that she can't tell them what she did.
Right. And I think that's my theory, is because we've seen her use her magic with good intentions, yet it still has an effect on her. Something happened in that 6 week period, and my guess is she used her magic, probably on something big, probably something that King Arthur did, judging from the way things are going, and the cost was her becoming the Emma that we see now 6 weeks later, regardless of her intentions, but that was part of the cost of her using her magic. And
it was probably to get Merlin out of the tree, because she did offer to do that at the beginning of episode 3, and everyone's like, no! But I think, they're going to find out that Arthur is, Shady McShaderson.
Yes.
And he's the one orchestrating all this crap, and she goes, okay, fine, whatever, I'm getting Merlin out of the tree because I'm the only one powerful enough to do it. And something went horribly wrong with that, and maybe Arthur found out about it because he's pulling some really weird crap while he's in Storybrooke. I don't know, I just am like, this past episode, I was like sitting there going, "Oh man, Arthur, I know you're a scumbag, but you're making friends with Prince Charming, and I really like this."
Yes.
The romance between the two of them.
Man, he
Totally.
Arthur's stroking David's ego, and it's
I know, and I was like, but he deserves to be sitting in the table of heroes.
he
because
does,
he's so awesome.
but yeah, it's
And everybody's ignoring him. Like all the Snow and Regina and everybody, they're all sitting there going, "Oh, we can figure this out." And David's just like, "I'll just sit here in the corner, holding the baby, being really bored, doing whatever."
mhm.
And and that kind of goes over when he goes back to Storybrooke and he's like feeling totally helpless. And I'm like, "Aw, David, I need to give you a hug. Come here."
Give
I
me
really
Charming.
like David. It's when he starts listening to his wife and all her spiel that I'm just like, "Oh, don't do it. You're better than this."
Yeah. I think whatever it is, and and maybe to me it seems obvious, but again, this is Once Upon a Time, so whatever's obvious is probably not. But I think whatever happened centers around Excalibur. It has to be something with the power that Excalibur holds, and the fact that the Dark One's dagger is part of Excalibur, which I did not see coming.
I didn't either.
Like when it pans down and the blade is broken, like, and it look like the designs that are similar to the Dark One's dagger are at the very end of where it's broken. Like, just a broken part of Excalibur becomes the Dark One's dagger, and apparently it did. And like,
I did not see that coming, but that's cool.
I know. And what's interesting about this is because we think of Excalibur in the legend as this great mythical mighty sword, and it's wielded by the great King Arthur, and he is this wonderful, good, and wise king. And so you think you've got this image of Excalibur in your mind, and you look at it, and the top part that we see sticking out of the stone is all straight and looks like Excalibur. Then he pulls it out, and then there's that little wavy bit, and then the Dark One's dagger is that crooked, wavy, spirally looking thing, and it's got all the sinister looking designs on it, and it's kind of like it's a metaphor almost. And I know I'm getting like kind of deep and mythological or whatever about it, but it's like, okay, so the Excalibur we see is the image that we think, but then we pull it out and then we find out, oh, it's not as straight and true as we think. It's crooked and those are like layers to people. And I kind of wonder like if this mythology of the Dark One's dagger being part of Excalibur is going to be some kind of thing like, okay, humans, we have multiple sides. There's our good, honorable, decent side, and then there's the side of us that lies, cheats, and steals. And it's like nothing is ever perfectly good or perfectly evil. It all exists.
It's only wielded by a hero because it's like really we know Excalibur's powerful because like from the legends and from everything else, and maybe it can only be wielded by a hero because anyone else would be corrupted by the power of Excalibur.
Right.
But Arthur has started to go
down.
Arthur has started to go down a dark path.
Yeah.
And or something.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe we'll get an episode where it shows how Arthur came to become the king, because he alluded to it when he was talking to David and saying, I was a peasant and I wasn't always a king, and David says, well, I was a shepherd, and they're all like fist bump bros kind of a thing. But yeah, he's he started out with good intentions, but now he's becoming corrupted by power, and maybe that, and because I honestly think whatever Arthur has done something to cause Merlin to be trapped in the tree, and so maybe that was what Merlin was trying to stop from happening. And Arthur said, nope, you get to go live in a tree for a while.
He was pure enough for Excalibur to accept him as this pure hero.
Yeah.
But he didn't stay that way. And he became corrupted by the power of Excalibur, even though by the time he got Excalibur, it was already broken.
Yeah.
But
well,
even
and hence why
this sword, even when it's broken, is powerful enough to corrupt.
Yeah. Hence why Excalibur is now back in the stone and hidden under Emma's new house, and she can't get it out, but now she needs Blank Slate Rumple to get it out, because he's the only one that's like
hero. To become the person heroic enough for Excalibur to accept.
Yep. Maybe. There's
a lot of really juicy stuff here to talk about. I love it.
I know.
And Zelina. It's like we have all this good stuff. It's like with Rumple's a blank slate and Emma's gone dark, and there's Hook and Emma feels all over the place because their relationship is in shambles. And then you've got Zelina.
Then there's Zelina being as the Vortex boys would say, bat guano crazy.
Yeah.
Which is that's the character of Zelina.
Yeah.
Although, have we seen her since we got back from Storybrooke? Since we got back to Storybrooke?
No. I think we've only seen her in flashbacks to Camelot.
Yeah.
I assume
they all appear in Granny's Diary back in Storybrooke, and I'm like, I don't think Zelina was there. So what's happened to Zelina?
She's probably back in her cage. I mean,
she was there when they dropped them all back into Storybrooke, but I'm sure she's back in her cell under the hospital.
Yeah, which would explain how Robin got the ultrasound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where she belongs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holly, were you going to say something? I thought you were going to...
Yeah, and then, just the conversation and kind of bonding that Hook and Belle have over both letting
the dark one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is as easy a task as you think it could be.
Yeah. And I love that they included that, because we routinely forget that Belle's even there.
Yeah.
And but she has a lot of insight to how, especially like Hook can try to reach Emma through the darkness, because she did it with Rumple.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's too that conversation that Hook had with Emma on the boat, and the whole thing with Mila and all that. It's time to turn Rumple into the man that he was, and not, I'm redeeming myself, but I kind of played a hand in it, which I thought was, interesting that he admitted.
Yeah.
That after that.
That he owned up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, and we haven't really seen the new version of Rumple in action yet, but it shows further that Hook has changed. Like he used to be this terrible, awful person, and slowly he is, like Regina, he's come into this, okay, I'm a hero, I'm not a villain anymore, I'm not going to, indiscriminately threaten people and do all these things, and he still feels remorse for what he's done, but now he's trying to fix it by helping Emma remember who she really is, and she keeps insisting, no, this is how I really am now, and it'll be interesting to see like how that plays out. I mean, Hook isn't ready to give up on Emma, and Emma still wants to be with Hook, I think. It's kind of in a different way, but it's like, how is this going to affect their relationship? And how is this going to all play out? And, it's a show about happy endings. Everybody's got to get their happy endings.
Well, and I have to bring up Henry, too. I mean, he's taken this on responsibility big time. Because, I mean, Hook even came to him and was like, hey, I want you to rewrite, happy ending, Mom's not the dark one, but and he was just like, no, and that really just, I'm like, okay, good for you, Henry. I think any other kid or any other, in the same situation would be like, yep, you want this done, let me write this down, let's fix this, but he's sticking to what he promised.
Mm-hmm.
Just to observe and let things go as they will.
Yeah. Well, and I love when Hook asks Henry, like, oh, you're the author, you can write this out. And he's like, well, I broke the pen. And Hook goes, you what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they did say before this season that Henry was probably going to regret breaking that pen.
Yep.
Yep. And he does, but I mean, he still has a part to play, because, like, he was one of the first people that Dark Emma went to go see, and she's still his mom. She still cares about him, and she wanted to make sure that he knew that she didn't blame him for whatever happened in Camelot, and because she says, you didn't fail me, everybody else did, and he's like, Mom, why are you like this? What happened? And then Regina came, and they didn't really get to talk much, but can I just say, it is so cute that Henry has a little girlfriend now. I was like, yes. And well, first of all, I was like, Henry gets to go to Fairy Tale Land, not that crappy alternate universe one, but real Fairy Tale Land, and go to a ball and do all these things. I'm just like, oh, little precious nugget, he's all grown up. I thought it was so cute. And his little friend, her name was Violet?
Violet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they
I was
reconnect
just so
when the residents of Camelot come to Storybrooke. Although they don't remember meeting.
Mm-hmm.
But they still connected and connected over the same song.
Yes. I love that song. It was so interesting to watch the ball and watch everybody in Camelot dancing to a modern pop song, and it was a very, very well chosen song. I was quite impressed.
Mm.
I liked it quite a bit.
It's interesting to see, even 3 episodes in. I mean, we're still, like you said, sometimes you forget Belle is there. But that some characters are getting a bit more involvement. Like the dwarves, when they decided they were going to follow and try to rescue Emma from wherever the vortex had taken her, and the dwarves are like, we're going with you. We keep getting left behind.
Yeah. They don't want to step down in the mines anymore.
Yeah. And then this week they were in the mines, whistling, hi ho hi. I love that when once upon a time they drop the classic Disney tunes in there. I'm like, I love it.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Little drops that connect to the cartoons, and like Belle. Not that she needs it anymore because Gold is awake, but Belle had that rose. The red rose from Beauty and the Beast, and the kind of an indicator of what's going on with Gold. I'm like, that thing from dinner.
It was nice to see Granny's back in one piece.
Yes.
And Granny's is obviously no worse for the wear, and it's a tornado ride to Camelot. Granny doesn't have to either. Granny's insurance works really quickly, or she didn't need it to begin with.
Yeah. I love that it was a cyclone, because it's like, okay, you're still pulling in influences from Wizard of Oz because Zelina is still here.
Yep.
So I was like, that was really cool. I liked it.
Absolutely.
And then, well, we've gotten a little bit of Merida. just in that first episode.
I hope she comes back. That better not be all we get of Merida.
I'm looking at the title list for the episode titles, and a title and one coming up soon is The Bear and the Bow, which is actually the working title for Brave before it was titled Brave.
Nice.
So and then there's another one called The Bear King, which I'm like, I wonder if Merida will be involved in that, because I'm like, you can't have, because they made such a big deal about Merida coming and doing the promos and everything, and then just to have her in the one episode, I'm like, you got to do a little bit more with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she will be.
Yes. Well, in the episode last night when they were still in Camelot and David and Arthur had gone on their quest for that mushroom, toadstool. Sorry, Regina, toadstool. Yeah. And they discussed having an archery contest, and I'm like, yes, and bring up Merida. Yes, that's what I wanted. It's like when they said they were doing Merida and Camelot, I'm like, yes, archery contest, please. And now that they've dropped it in the show itself, I'm like, make it happen. So there's hope. There's hope. We don't know what all they crammed into those 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, a lot can happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Charming went off and had Best Buds bro time with King Arthur, so they went off into the swamp.
With zombie nights.
Jeez. Although I have to say that scene in Storybrooke where Arthur is driving the truck and David's chasing, whacks the guy that's chasing, running off on the horse. Yeah, I was like, man, they had a lot of fun with that scene when they were filming it. Yep.
Excuse me.
Oh, by the way, I was just Googling it real quick. The song that Henry shared with Violet is called Only You, and it's by a group called Yazoo, I guess?
Yep.
Yazoo. Oh, I guess I had to look it up.
I looked it up too.
It's like they probably saw a slight spike in their iTunes rating after that episode went out. If they're still around, I don't know. So anyway.
We shall see. We got 6 weeks of time to uncover. And the mystery what is, I don't again, I'm sure this will be explained, but something is coming, because Emma warned Regina something was coming, and Regina figured out it was something even more than that wraith thing that came after Robin.
Oh, the Fury.
The Fury, yes. I was like, what is Lord of the Rings? Or Harry Potter, or the Mentor, or something.
And they do that whole Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, really, the Guardians of the Galaxy moment. It has to be something with Arthur, because Arthur's still got an agenda even now that they're in Storybrooke. I mean, his little hand helper dude he convinced him to commit suicide. So Arthur's definitely up to something, and I think Emma knows what it is, but why she's not. And I don't know if this is because the Dark One part of her won't let her, if she, but
or maybe it's a condition of the curse.
Or that she can't tell them what exactly happened in Camelot, and what is coming.
If it was a dark curse, then she would have had to crush the heart of someone she cared about, and everyone she cared about is present and accounted for. So there's got to be something else going on here.
Yeah. That, and if Emma was able to tell them what happened, then we wouldn't get we'd still get flashbacks, but we wouldn't get several episodes worth of flashbacks. Stuff would go by way too. We need episode filler, but I find it interesting that Emma, whatever has happened, that Emma can't tell them what happened, and what is going to happen. But like you said, she's not complete. There's got to still be part of her, the good part of her, still raging and trying to take back, to come back and make Emma good again. And that is why she hasn't harmed anyone other than making Dopey a tree. Which I don't think is coincidental. I don't think it's coincidental that, I mean, if the curse has something to do with her, then, and Dopey became a tree, Merlin was a tree, or in a tree, so the magic, the two types of magic from what happened to Merlin and what happened to Dopey have to be similar, if not the exact same magic.
Yeah.
But Merlin was a tree before Emma got there? So I don't know. I just... There's a lot of questions, and I'm like, answer my questions already.
Yep. And so far, they've been okay. I don't feel like they've been setting this up too much, because I keep going. I
go for the curse. And he's also responsible for Merlin being in the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's because he has that. Because he has that chest of...
why that set is still a mystery. But...
Well, he has that chest of magical items. Maybe he used some of them in casting the curse, and so now he's, like, passing it off as, oh, someone stole our stuff. It's like, no, you used them to cast this new curse and to take over Storybrooke as your new Camelot, dude. But since he's King Arthur, everybody thinks he's, greatest thing since toast.
Yeah. Oh, questions.
Always.
Questions. We need answers.
But I think I you know what I am grateful for, because I keep going back to season 3 and some of these comparisons. Because when they had Neverland, they kept building up Peter Pan as, oh, he's this, terrible monster, blah, blah, blah. And Ruffle has a history with him, and it's terrible and awful. And we're, like, waiting on the edge of our seats, like, okay, kid, do something. And he never did, and it was kind of a letdown. I think they have learned their lesson this go-around. It's like, okay, build it up slowly and not just throw it all in, like, here it is, this is what's going on. It's this mystery that, they give us little bits and pieces here, and it's enough to see, like, okay, we're still interested, we're still, we know you're going to give us a good payoff. So I kind of feel like, and I'm knocking on wood right now, that it's not going to be a massive letdown at the end of it. Because I feel like so far they have balanced the story and the characters pretty well at the beginning of this, and it feels like everybody's kind of getting their moment to shine, or they will get their moment to shine, and it will all kind of feel like a good close-knit sort of story. Even characters that they've ignored for the last little while, like the dwarves and Red Riding Hood's coming back, and Mulan's coming back, and there was somebody else that I don't remember off the top of my head, but so it kind of feels like they're getting back to the more ensemble storyline or storytelling that made season 1 really good, and some of the others since then. So I'm where last season I was kind of feeling, at the end of last season, was kind of feeling disappointed. I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful this go around. So I hope that continues.
Mm.
Yeah.
But we will see.
I'm just looking for a little more Belle storyline. I know they promised
yes.
later on.
Yeah.
Yep, we are. Yeah.
It's just this past
Belle.
episode, therefore it was just
I want more. I don't blame you, because you've been a big Rumple and Belle fan from the beginning, and I've like watched this number.
Even if
Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
not Rumple and Belle together, give me more Belle. I'll be happy with that too.
I know.
The Disney movie is the character that I've always sort of identified with, like with the whole reading outcast kind of character, and the Once Upon a Time Belle is very similar to. I mean,
well, and the Beast is that way too, and mixing Rumple with the Beast is kind of, it's been more, the dark one sort of thing. But I think maybe with this new blank slate Rumple, they'll have a chance to kind of be like, okay, how is he the Beast, or how has Belle brought out the good man inside of him, that was underneath the Beast, because now the Beast is gone from Rumple, so it's like, okay, you've got a chance to do something really incredible with this character, and let him and Belle kind of complement each other, and kind of work out that balance a little bit more than they have done in the past. And yeah, you're right. I hope they do a lot more with Belle, and Rumple. It's like, take this as an opportunity, guys.
And I wouldn't mind a few more scenes with Regina and Belle together, because the way that they were working the camera was.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah.
True.
It's like, let's give
that 28 years you stuck me in a prison. That's kind of all in the past.
I mean, let's let Belle do something amazing, and not just be, oh, you're the researcher that's standing in the back corner. I mean, she's important for that, but she can do more.
Mrs. Dark One. We got it.
Yeah. Yeah. But now I'm like, make her be her own character, and let her step out into the center and be like. And it's kind of hard to do, because she is kind of a quiet, sort of introverted character, and sometimes it's kind of hard to, get her out of the shadow of all these, louder and more exuberant and, Regina characters. But I think they're on the right track.
we need a storyline in an episode that really plays to her strengths.
Mm-hmm. And they can do it. They just have to find a spot for it, I guess.
So that she's at the forefront and she leads the solving whatever problem is that week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If my mom came back, remember those two they did.
Oh yeah,
they made a good team in that one episode. Yeah.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah, let's do that again, or something like it.
Ooh, Mulan, Red, and Belle on a mission. That would be something to see.
Oh
Yes. Do it, guys.
When's the last time we saw Red?
End of season 3. She was in the season finale.
So she's.
Yeah, well, Megan Ori was on Intelligence was the name of the show, and it got canceled, so that's why she hasn't been around.
She's due to come back.
Yes, they have said she is back at some point this season. There's been behind the scene pictures of her in costume on the Once Upon a Time set. So yeah, she definitely does come back.
I wonder how they're going to explain her absence.
They promise that there will be an explanation, and it won't be just, oh, she was in the back room at Granny's this whole time. There'll be a reason for it. Yeah, locked in the freezer.
Better reason than that.
Yeah. Well, and because the funny thing is, she was there at Neil's christening when.
Oh, that's right.
Because she was in the season 3 finale, because she had to help them save Emma from Evil Queen, and then she ended up not needing saving. But
funny how that
but
works.
yeah, Red's coming back.
Well, let's see, Red's coming back, and who else did they say is coming back? Mulan's coming back, right?
Mulan's coming back.
At some point. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I know there was another one.
Was
I
it
think.
Aurora?
I mean, Mulan's coming back.
I didn't
Aurora makes sense.
I didn't hear. I think David Anders tweeted out something about Dr. Whale coming back at some point too.
Oh, that could be. Well, I know when they made the mention of Mulan, I think one of the articles I saw had a picture of Mulan and Aurora together, so that's instantly.
Yeah, that might have been, but I don't think I've heard official confirmation that Aurora was coming back. But I could have missed it. I've kind of stepped away from Once Upon a Time fandom lately because people are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
I have taken a much needed break from Tumblr, and let me tell you, it has done wonders for my sanity.
I'm sure it has.
And there are other things going on, but I'll talk about them later.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Once Upon a Time, we're feeling good.
Feeling good. I'm liking it so far. I hope it continues to hold up. So.
Yep, me too.
Do we know yet if this particular storyline is going to be the whole season, or if the
I haven't heard one way or the other.
Yeah.
I do know they'll hit their 100th episode for either the mid-season finale or the spring premiere. I can't remember which one it was, but they're going to do a big splashy something because they were talking about big plans for the 100th episode, and it was either the finale or the premiere. I can't remember, but it's coming up soon.
Did a quick search on IMDb. Nathan Orion's return episode will be episode 8, airing in November, and the title is Birth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Read into that what you will for birth of what? Birth of baby.
Yeah.
Killing a baby?
Baby Wicked Hood?
Yeah, or some other birth.
Although it hasn't been 9 months, so unless that accelerated gestational thing.
Time jump somewhere in between.
I don't know if I can handle another time jump.
Episode 8.
I'm having enough trouble as it is keeping track as those. Because pretty much all of Camelot is set up camp in the woods, but they'll have some of those scenes. And I'm like, wait, are we in Camelot or are we in the woods at Story? Where are we?
They have a West Side Story thing happen later on with Camp Camelot and Camp Merryman.
Yeah.
I know. I was just thinking, how big are these woods outside Storybrooke? Like, can these people go get houses in town?
I don't know. They're rustic. They like camping. I don't understand why, but to each their own, I guess.
I guess so.
More power to them.
Yeah.
We're in I guess we're just in that wait and see what happens limbo.
Yep. Welcome to Once Upon a Time, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned next week.
And speaking of next week,
yes.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Ah!
Yes. We'll have some more to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we'll have another episode. But if you want to join in our conversation, our discussion about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. next week, or if you want to leave a comment about Once Upon a Time or anything else we've discussed in the past little while, or ever, you can send us in feedback. Our email address is 5ishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also find our website at the 5ishfangirlspodcast.blogspot.com, and there are all of our contact links, social media stuff like Facebook and Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram, Pinterest, And we're on YouTube and iTunes. Hopefully you found us through iTunes, and if you did, leave a comment, leave a review, leave us a rating if you would be so kind, because we love seeing those things. And also, if you feel so inclined to, donate to us on our Patreon page, because that helps us keep the podcast going. And so we may bring all manner of joyful squee to your ears weekly, because it's fun and we enjoy it, and we hope you are enjoying it as well. So yeah, look us up, say hello. You know, we see people liking and commenting on our Facebook page, and that is really awesome. I love seeing that. I'll get pop up in my notifications. I'm like, oh yay, someone's on our Facebook page.
It's not us.
Like, we just got another like on one of our posts.
Woo.
Hi, Dan.
Yeah.
Listening. I see you liking our stuff there. It just popped up on Facebook, and I was like, hello.
Yeah. Yeah, Facebook is where we like to share the stuff that doesn't necessarily fit into the podcast and the news and all that, memes and stuff like that.
Yeah, or stuff we just find and we're like, I need to share this with somebody now, and
Yes.
it goes on the Facebook page.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
There's sometimes like, ooh, I want to post this on a Facebook page, and it was all own posts. Like, oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yep. Oh, and I guess I ought to mention too. We're on our Goodreads is actually, well, it's Traveling the Vortex, Doctor Who book club. So we're there as well, even though it says Traveling the Vortex. But Holly runs that, and she does a marvelous job, and it's fantastic. And this month, I guess you guys talked about it, but I'll just mention again. We're reading the Lethbridge Stewart novel, right? Schizoid Earth.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm almost done, and oh my gosh.
Okay. And I finished September's last week.
I'm keeping.
I'm still not done September's.
I'm keeping the threads open for past month's books, so I'm not closing them. So if you read a book,
I have something that I want to talk about, but I'm going to wait till I've posted my review, which means I need to finish the book, but I'm not done yet.
That would be step number one for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, so look us up on Goodreads. It's Traveling the Vortex Doctor Who book club. So it's a little bit different, but I think the link's on our website, isn't it?
I believe so.
Okay. So yeah, you can find us.
If it's not, that's embarrassing and shall be rectified shortly.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah, and I always do try to link posts, or when polls go up, or if there's updates to the book club, I always try to post both to Five-ish on the Facebook page and also Traveling the Vortex's Facebook page. So
Okay, I'm just on iTunes now, and I'm trying to see what people might search to find our podcast, and I searched Fangirls, and we're like the 5th result.
Nice.
Nice. You know, I'm not seeing our Goodreads here.
Nope. Okay. Well, that needs to be fixed then. Apologies. Stuff gets missed, unfortunately. But it shall be fixed. Well, besides that, anyone else have anything else to add?
No.
Did we? Brittany's still around, isn't she?
Yeah, I am sorry. I got quiet.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, anything you want to say, even though we're wrapping up, go for it.
Not really. Just if you're not watching Once Upon a Time, you really need to.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you're like me, you can mainline pretty quickly. Like, I think it took me less than 2 weeks to mainline 3 seasons.
Took us 3 hours to talk about them on this podcast.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yep.
That was fun.
That 3 hour fest may not be hitting the iTunes feeds for
download it as an MP3.
Yep.
Yes. Maybe like when we have a month where like for some reason all of us are gone a week or something, and we'll like when we have space. But I don't know. I leave that to the technical guru.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before the big one ends up on iTunes, because I even compressing it down, it's still huge. It's still a huge file. So.
Maybe we could split it up into a part 1 and part 2 or something.
We may have to at this rate. Otherwise, it's going to be like one of the last ones to go up on iTunes. It's so long.
Well, maybe 2 or 3 parts.
Yeah.
Like 3 1-hour parts or something.
Something. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll discuss that later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We need to sign
close up
off.
shop here.
Yeah. I can smell dinner coming from the other room.
Oh yeah, we need to get you to dinner.
Yep. So with that, let's sign off for this week.
This is Brittany and Doda saying goodnight.
This is Chrissy in Salt Lake City saying, "Let us ride for Camelot."
Saying goodnight from Kitchener, Ontario.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I feel like we missed a really fantastic birthday party for Doc, because Doctober just sounds like the most awesomest birthday party ever.
Yes.
I want an invitation to the next Doctober. Doctoberfest.
Have been listening to the Five-ish Fangirls podcast. Any and all movies, books, games, and other forms of media mentioned are owned and operated by the respective copyright holders. No copyright infringement is intended or implied.